Okay. So, this chapter is all about graphing functions, which will be mostly straight lines that we're doing, which is that y equals mx plus b stuff, which you guys kind of remember, right? But also we need to know how to make like a table. So that's what today is going to be about. So, we're gonna do 4 examples and we're gonna take our time. So example 1. Again, this is on the back side, and the front side I'll switch to graph paper whenever we do that, okay? All right, the first equation we're gonna try to graph is y equals 2x plus 5. And I have a specific way I want you to do it at first, and then eventually we'll go faster and you can skip this part if you want to. But what I want you to do is I want you to make a chart. It's going to have a skinny column and a wide column in the middle. And then it's going to have 5 rows in it. Like this. I want you to put x on top of this one and y on top of that one. Which one is usually the inputs in equations? The x, right? Do you guys remember that this could also be called f of x? Y could be called f of x. Everybody good with that? Okay. So what we're going to do for every single graph we make is we're going to make them, all the inputs are going to be -2 to +2. How do I find out what the y is if the x is -2? Go ahead, Kelly. Right, so this would be 2 times -2 plus 5, so the middle is where my work goes. 2 times -2 is -4, and -4 plus 5? It's +1. Okay, what should I do for the next one? So 2 times -1 plus 5. Which is -2 plus 5, which is what? 3. Now, your work can be detailed like this, or your work can be minor like this. For example, I know a lot of you like doing work in your head, so here's a way you could do it in your head. Look up. You're thinking 2 times 0 plus 5, right? So you could just write 0 plus 5 is 5, like that. See what I'm saying? So you could shorten it up if you want to. Or you could show all of your work if you want to. 2 times 1 plus 5 is 7. And 2 times 2 plus 5 is 9. Okay. So what do we do with this information? Graph. How do you graph it? What do you say? Plot the points. All right, now I'm going to write a point next to each one of these, and so should you. -2, 1. -1, 3. Do you see how I'm just writing the x, y points? 0, 5, 1, 7, and 2, 9. Your homework is only going to be 4 of these problems. So I do want you to show your work on these problems. Okay. All right, now we're going to switch to the graph. So flip it over. I'm going to leave my information up here, but first we're going to make a graph together. So grab a different color maybe to make it easier to see. Do I have my blue pen? No. Okay, so we're gonna have to get 4 graphs on this, so if you're thinking about how should I spread out my graphs. All right, so this is example 1. Just putting down some x and y axes. All right, I'm about to tell you how awesome I am when it comes to graphing, and that's not like bragging, that means that I'm gonna let you do the bare minimum, which I believe because we are teenagers, we enjoy doing the bare minimum, correct? Okay. I don't know what your math teachers before me did. Did they make you label on your axes, like 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3? I'm not going to make you unless you change your scale. So if you have no numbers written in, I'm gonna assume that it goes by ones. Does that make sense to you? But if you needed to skip by 2s or by 5s or something to make it fit, then you're gonna have to write it down. Is everybody okay with that? All right, so the first point that we're graphing for example 1 was -2, 1. So -2 on the x and 1 up, and put a dot. And then -1, 3. Let's see, 0, 5. Oh, did I not leave enough space? Oh, looks like I barely did. 0, 5. 1, 7. And 2, 9. I am also not gonna force you to use a ruler if you don't want to. I'm going to use a ruler because not having straight lines drives me crazy. So if you're one of those people who needs it to be straight, then go ahead and grab a ruler. Although I do have a really cool trick for you. You guys wanna see a really cool magic trick? Watch. So let's say that you're drawing in this line and you miss the last one. Okay, you know how you can fix it? You ready for magic? If you just make the dot bigger. Ta-da, see, you did it. You went through the line. So, I don't mind if your graphs look a little bit wonky or anything like that. Here are the things I care about. I care that you always write x and y on every graph. And again, I don't care if you don't need to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, or anything like that on the scale as long as you're going by ones. How are we feeling? Okay. All right, this time you're gonna prove it with your partner. Example 2. This one that we're gonna do is gonna be y equals -2x minus 3. Does this format make sense to everybody? I know that it's a little bit tedious, but remember your homework is 4 problems, so it's not like it's going to take forever, and we're gonna have Monday to work on it. Okay, so with your partner right now, you are going to go through the math for this, okay? And graph it. All right, talk to each other, go for it.